Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Judventures, where we're going to talk about this pretty special place today, and that is Universal Epic Universe, because today they've released their first animated fly-through of the Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic area, and it is looking magnifico. Lots of this information may have been known already, but this gives us first sort of in-depth look within the land itself that you've not quite seen before, and you will be able to see through this walkthrough that we have two very distinctly themed areas. The first area is based on the theming from the Fantastic Beasts films, where you'll find a 1920s Parisian street style theme, lots of Parisian shops all dotted around the place. It looks very reminiscent of the Ratatouille area from Disney, but it's looking mighty fine indeed. And the second area is classic Harry Potter. It's based on the Ministry of Magic, which is in itself set in London. Now, you can't particularly see much other than the inside of the building here, which is part of one of the attractions. So it looks like the outside facade of the entire sort of land is going to be built around the 1920s Parisian streets, and then the inside where this sort of main attraction is going to be housed and what looks to be an epic queue line for this attraction is all going to be based around that London Ministry of Magic. Some of the shops and attractions that they have announced today, and I will refer to the screen because there could be some pronunciation problems. We have Cosmo Acajor Baguettes Magique. Cosmo Acajor Baguettes Magique is the name of one of the shops. Now, Baguettes Magique actually means magical ones. And now forever I'm going to have that picture in my head of Voldemort with a giant baguette in his hand, giving it the whole Avada Kedavra. But anyway, Baguettes Magique will be an interactive wand shop where you can buy the interactive wands, which will be able to be used throughout the lands. You'll be able to see within the fly-through in the trailer itself. You can see a Niffler in a suitcase in the window, very much like they do over at Universal Studios. The Wizarding World over there, you can go buy an interactive wand, you get to keep the wand, and you can interact with certain elements throughout the land itself. It makes it very immersive. Now, if you look at the Super Mario Land from all over the world, as well as the one that's being built within Epic Universe, there's all kinds of things that they want you to interact with. Epic Universe are going the full hog on immersion within these lands. It's not just that they want the theming to be immersive, but the entire experience of just walking past a window, being able to interact with something. In Mario Land, being able to hit a box and something happening. They want the entire thing to be an experience and not one bit left out. And what a better way in the Harry Potter area than to have those interactive magic wands come back. There will possibly be a crossover where you'll be able to use those wands at Epic Universe and over at the Wizarding World. You have Le Cirque Arcanus, which is a live interactive experience with aerialists, puppetry, special effects, the whole shebang. Universal and Disney over in Florida are known for just the absolutely epic shows that they put on, and so this is no doubt going to be a good one. I'm hoping personally that it's not too much of a circusy vibe. I'm not a big fan of the circus, but either way, the shows that they put on generally are that immersive and that fun that you're going to love them. You're going to have to see it just once. There are multiple food and beverage locations throughout the land, one being Café l'Air de la Siren, which roughly translates as the air of the mermaid. Now, this could be Google Translate for you, but it's either the air of the mermaid or the hair of the mermaid. With it being a food and beverage location, I'm imagining it's going to be the air or some form of consumption. It could have translated completely crap. I do apologise if it's not the name, but that's roughly what it translates as in the UK. You will also have Le Goblet Noir, which is the Black Cup or the Black Goblet, which will be, I assume, just a drinking location rather than an eating and drinking location. You have Bar Moonshine, which, the top of my head, because of what moonshine is, it makes me think this is going to be more of a dark arts vibe to it, so this is going to be more of the enemy's drinking hole. And then you also have a cart which will sell butterbeer, or there is a French word for it, but I ain't even going to try and pronounce it. There will be plenty of merchandise on offer as well at places such as Les Galeries Mirifiques, Quai Ramel and Tour en Flou, which I probably got all of them wrong, but it's something along those lines. And those food, beverage, merchandise places all seem to take up most of the space within the Harry Potter land. So we also get our first look at the brand new main and only attraction in the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic land, and that is Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. Now you will join our original three heroes, Harry, Ron and Hermione, as they do a broomstick style car chase through the Ministry, trying to catch Dolores Umbridge, who was going on trial for all of the crap that she did in the movies. She's managed to escape, she's causing havoc, and it's you and the heroes' job to get after her, catch her, and put the world to rights. But not only that, you and our heroes will be joined by the brand new character, Higgledy, the house elf. Now, this is a smart move on Universal's part. It's been a long time since the Harry Potter movies came out, and to have a brand new character in there, that is your merch sales going through the roof, because let's face it, anybody who is a Harry Potter fan probably already has some form of Dobby merchandise in their house, whether that is a plushie toy or a Lego set. We've all got one, I'm sure of it. But a brand new character such as Higgledy, those merch sales are going to go through the roof. Now, from what we can see in this trailer and from what we already know, what you'll do is you'll leave Paris and you'll enter sort of an underground station where you will travel by Floo network through to the Ministry of Magic. Now, this looks like there's multiple doorways. Not entirely sure how this is going to work, but it's likely to feature lots of projection mapping and special effects to give you that smooth transition through into this new land. Now, I've no worries about how good this is going to be, because if you think about Universal Studios and the Islands of Adventure, you go to Diagon Alley, you get on that train, and you're moving through some terrible backlot areas if you could see them, but they fully immerse you in the train journey with the screens in there, and by the time you arrive at the new land, it's almost like you've been on a ride itself. So I've no doubt this is going to be a unique and fantastic way of travelling through to the Ministry of Magic. And then when you enter the Ministry of Magic, now the fly-through just shows you the entrance hall there, but you can see by some of the concept art that this is where a big portion of the queue line is going to be as well. So you're going to be in this queue line in the centre of the Ministry of Magic. It's going to be incredibly well themed. I can only imagine how good this is going to look. It looks like it's going to have some sort of projection mapping or special effects up on the roof to give the indication that sort of the dark arts and the Dementors, all of those dark creatures have taken over the Ministry. You can see there's a certain what appears to be projection mapping down a tunnel where there definitely is Dementors flying around some of the statues, and you'll go through that queue line until you enter either the final stage of the queue line or the ride itself, and that is the point where it does cut out of the video, so you don't really get a huge feel for the ride itself. But when you have a look at some of the concept art, what you can actually take from this, or at least I take from this, is you're going to be in some sort of a court stand, like when Harry is being pestered by the Ministry for his indiscretions using magic. You're going to have those high court stands, which is going to form your seats. And this is just a guess, but it looks to me like that court stand is going to be on the end of a robo-arm, using the same technology that they're using for the Frankenstein experiment. It makes sense to use that same ride system because you only really have the development cost of one or the R&D cost of one, and then you just pay for two of them to be built. Now, as well as it looking to use the same technology, flying through those scenes and stuff, which I think is a really great use of the technology, because the Escape from Gringotts, well, I did like it as a ride, and the queue line is just absolutely superb. When you actually got on the ride, I was a bit let down because it's just a bit of a tracked, I wouldn't even say a roller coaster, with some screens in there. It was very screen heavy, and I'm not a fan of screen heavy attractions. Whilst I was excited to be in there because it's Harry Potter and I'm a nerd, it was too screen based for me, and this very much looks slightly different because not only does it have that robo-arm technology, what I'm assuming is robo-arm technology in there, to give you a more fluid experience as you're moving around, but also if you look at the concept art of how the Death Eaters are positioned and fighting, for me this very much looks like a similar positioning into what Frankenstein and the other monsters are. in the concept art and in the reveal for those as well. And we do know that a lot of those are actually going to be some of the most advanced animatronics that we have seen to date. So if they are using the same robo-arm technology to save on cost, it makes sense that they'd also use the same animatronic technology. So I think some of these scenes, this will just be one of the scenes that you can see. I think some of these characters, especially the ones close to the ride vehicle, are likely to be that upgraded, amazing animatronics, whereas the ones that you can see at the very back are likely to be that projection screen based ones that you get at a lot of the attractions over there. But I think the use of the two technologies together are going to make this absolutely brilliant, and I'm very, very much looking forward to this ride. And the queue line is likely to be one of the best things in this ride as well. I did just mention, if you've ever been on Escape from Gringotts, you'll know that the queue line is one of the best bits of the entire attraction. The facade of the castle that you stood outside, when you go in, the entire queue line, walking through Gringotts, it is thematically amazing. It's a wonderful experience, and by the time you get on the ride, it's probably very easy to be disappointed with the ride because of what you've just experienced. So, not that I'm saying that this ride is going to be disappointing, but what I am saying is we can very much look forward to an absolutely amazing queue line going through that ministry. Look at what Gringotts was, add 10 years of technological advancements, and boy oh boy, this is going to be a fantastic addition. And that is it from us with the Universal Epic Universe Harry Potter Ministry of Magic update. If you liked what we've had to say today, if you're in agreement of anything we've said, please hit the like button, pop some comments down below about what you're most excited to see within this land. Do you agree about the use of the robo-arm technology, or do you think I've completely just pulled that bollocks out of nowhere? And if you like what you've seen today, or you want to follow us on any of our other adventures, which at the moment seem to be few and far between, but we're coming up to scare season and we always try and do as much as we can for scare season. If you want to see all that, then please smash the subscribe button. It would be very, very much appreciated. And with that being said, I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.